A trial is set to start in a case that will decide if the state's controversial gun laws violate the Constitution. Gun rights groups are fighting to get the laws overturned, and they are getting support from a group of sheriffs. KRDO News Channel 13's Emily Allen spoke to the El Paso County Sheriff and a man who lost his seat in the legislature because of the bills. Emily.
Jonathan, we're outside the El Paso County Sheriff's Office in downtown Colorado Springs. This is where we spoke with Sheriff Terry Makita. He says these laws aren't working. However, we also spoke with former State Senate President John Morris, and he disagrees. He said he'd pass these laws all over again. From Colorado's capital to the courtroom, the debate over the state's controversial gun laws continues. El Paso County Sheriff Terry Makita is one of 55 sheriffs backing gun rights groups in this lawsuit.
The laws are so vague that there's just a lot of unanswered questions, and that's the result of these bills being forced through the legislature and nobody listening to the industry and law enforcement.
A judge will decide on the constitutionality of these two laws. One law expanded background checks to private gun sales. Another limited magazine sizes to 15 rounds. Former Senate President John Morris lost his seat in Senate District 11 in a recall election in September. He was in the hot seat for helping push these bills through the legislature.
The sheriffs have argued for a long time that we didn't listen to them. We heard them loud and clear. What they really mean is I didn't do what they wanted done. What I did was what the other 85% of people wanted done.
He says the lawsuit is nothing more than a political stunt by the sheriffs.
I think they ought to have public safety as their #1 concern, and very clearly they have their own political careers as #1 concern.
Makita says he's optimistic the judge will rule against the laws.
Our team of attorneys believe it's unconstitutional. We as sheriffs believe it's unconstitutional. And a way to have that resolved is through the courts.
Morse is also optimistic.
These lawsuits have been filed all over the country. I think there's been 8 of them so far, and they've lost every single time.
One thing Makita and Morse do agree on is the case won't end with this judge's ruling. The losing team will likely appeal to higher courts. Morse thinks one of these gun control cases will ultimately end up in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. In Colorado Springs, Emily Allen, KRDO News Channel 13.
Emily, thank you. These